Hi, beautiful people. How are ya? I'm Dr. Pammy Jean. I hope you're having a great day. Do you ever feel like you have no idea what's okay to eat and what's not okay to eat? It's well known that people with fibromyalgia have food sensitivities. About 42% of people with fibromyalgia have said their symptoms worsened after eating certain foods. We eat these foods because they're readily available. Maybe gluten, dairy, soy, corn, preservatives, MSG, or sweeteners worsen your symptoms, usually over time. But what makes it difficult is that we're all different. So I might struggle with MSG and it doesn't faze you a bit. But maybe what we need to do is know what's going on in the body. There is research on some of these things. Maybe to make matters worse, an underlying health condition can be the cause of what we're feeling after we eat a certain food. So today, let's take a look at some of these foods and the conditions related to their effect on our bodies, including fibromyalgia. Here we go. A few conditions related to certain foods and their effects on our body include thyroid disease, celiac disease, or vitamin D deficiency. These are somewhat common in fibromyalgia, but many patients with fibro have conditions such as migraine, myofascial pain syndrome, diabetes, sleep apnea, or Sjogren's disease. If you have hypothyroidism, you may want to give up or go easy on the brassicas, which are plants in the cabbage and mustard seed family. So bok choy, choy sum, turnips, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower are foods we often eat in this family. Eating these vegetables raw is apparently not recommended for hypothyroidism because they include goitrogens, which are chemicals that interfere with the thyroid hormone function. Some of the seeds from this family are used to make canola oil and mustard. But studies show that eating a variety of vegetables can ensure a great range of nutrients. What's your experience? Comment below. If you have celiac disease, you probably have given up on wheat products such as bread, cake, and pastries because gluten causes an allergic response in the small intestine. But for the rest of us, whole grains provide vitamins, protein, and fiber. But you might also have a sensitivity to grains. So, in that case, avoiding these foods as much as possible can help the digestive tract. What's your experience? Comment below. If you have gout, a diet low in purine is usually recommended. So, reducing the consumption of red meat, poultry, and fish may help. What's your experience? Comment below. Restless leg syndrome might respond well to adding iron in the diet or by taking a supplement. What's your experience? Comment below. It's possible that individuals with IBS may respond to removing gluten. I haven't tried this, but I do notice that bloating is a problem for me when I eat bread, so I often don't eat it at my meals. But for some, IBS, fatigue, and muscle pain may be reduced by removing gluten. In addition, removing food additives like MSG along with aspartame, an artificial sweetener, might help. That's what I try to do. In this 2012 study, researchers found that in fibromyalgia patients, removing MSG and aspartame reduced symptoms by 30%. That's amazing. My tummy did start feeling better when I started using stevia instead of sugar or aspartame. And we look for foods that don't contain MSG. What's your experience? Comment below. Also, drinking beetroot juice may influence microbiota in the gut. I take this digestive enzyme. It seems like common sense to add foods to your diet if you have a deficiency like vitamin D. But according to researchers, there is a link between fibro symptoms and vitamin D deficiency. Egg yolks, low-fat yogurt, orange juice, salmon, and swordfish, canned tuna and water, whole grain cereal fortified with vitamin D are all good sources of vitamin D. Even if you don't have a deficiency, vitamin D and calcium are excellent for preventing or slowing down osteoporosis. I was worried about taking calcium and causing me issues from having too much calcium, but I was obviously wrong because I apparently wasn't getting enough calcium in my diet since I've now been diagnosed with osteopenia, the precursor to osteoporosis. I do take my health seriously, and so obviously I'm taking a vitamin D and calcium supplement. Meat and dairy products are two food sources that people with fibromyalgia might want to consider limiting. Dairy products contain saturated fat, and red meat can increase a person's risk of certain cancer, heart disease, kidney problems, digestive issues, and other health concerns. I suppose if you're eating a lot of red meat, excess meat can cause these health concerns. But meat and dairy contain nutrients we need, such as vitamin B12 and iron. And iron is needed to produce new red blood cells. Moderation is always key, isn't it? Red meat is necessary for building muscle, bone, and other tissue and enzymes. Eating leaner meat and unprocessed meats may be more healthy than other types of meats. So, avoiding excess fats, salt, and preservatives is necessary. Now, I love sausage, but eating sausage is a rare event in my life these days. So, when I do eat it, I feel like a queen because, man, do I love it. It's, you know, abstaining from everything all the time makes life not very interesting. Food additives are called excitotoxins and could worsen our symptoms. Monosodium glutamate, MSG, is a flavor enhancer. And I've always said, why do they need to add this to our food? There are herbs and spices. So why MSG? What's wrong with the food that they need to enhance the flavor? I don't get it. But that's my question. I mean, I'm not a cook, and it seems that when my husband cooks, he does add herbs and spices, but he never adds MSG, thankfully. We could have a sensitivity to gluten, saturated fats, starches, or added sugars in our food as well. What's your experience? Comment below. According to some researchers, fibromyalgia has been linked to altered nitric oxide levels and oxidative stress, which we've talked about. Nitric oxide levels have been shown to be increased in fibro. Nitric oxide is a signaling molecule involved in pain pathways and inflammation. This is thought to be involved in the pathophysiology, the processes that cause or result from a disease of fibro. In addition, impaired microcirculation is potentially related to altered nitric oxide production. These increased nitric oxide levels in fibro and lipid peroxidation and mitophagy can cause pain sensitivity. Researchers have revealed low dopamine. That's a hormone and neurotransmitter that affects our mood and our movement. And we also have low serotonin, a neurotransmitter that affects mood, sleep, digestion, nausea, wound healing, bone health, blood clotting, and libido in fibromyalgia. Oxidative stress might play a critical role in fibropathophysiology. So it appears that to counteract the impact on our health and well-being, antioxidants may be an answer. Coenzyme Q10 has been found low in fibromyalgia, which leads to mitochondrial membrane increased superoxide activity and excessive synthesis of lipid peroxidation. Well, mutated genes are involved in this process as well. I mean, none of that sounds good, does it? The treatment of antioxidants has been shown to improve fibromyalgia symptoms overall. Supplementing CoQ10 and vitamin D, A, C, and E can help us, as well as magnesium. So perhaps a good multivitamin and mineral supplement would be best. Selenium is an essential trace element of antioxidant properties. So maybe having that in your multivitamin. And iron and folic acid provide antioxidant values. Sounds good. So is pure beetroot juice good for you? Or maybe just plain beets? I love beets. Do you? I have no idea if beetroot juice tastes the same as beets. One of my subs asked me about beetroot juice benefits, and what I found was that beetroot juice was loaded with natural nitric oxide. But the process of converting nitrates, which is what beetroot juice actually contains, into nitric oxide requires a healthy digestive tract. In a 2021 study, researchers determined that beetroot juice, popular among athletes, contains high concentrations of nitrates, which convert to nitric oxide after consumption. We don't eat a lot of beets around here. I don't know if it's because my husband doesn't like them and he's the one who goes to the grocery store. I'm thinking that at one point he told me they contained a lot of sugar. Not sure. Something to look at. Nitric oxide has vasodilator effects. I like that, which reduces blood pressure and increases oxygen and nutrient delivery to various organs. So I do love that idea. Oops, here's what I found. The main difference between eating beets and drinking beetroot juice lies in their fiber content and concentration of nutrients. Eating beets provide fiber, which aids digestion and can contribute to feelings of fullness, while beetroot juice offers a more concentrated dose of certain nutrients like nitrates, but lacks the fiber found in whole beets. And especially that it relaxes our blood vessels and improves our blood flow. I have lichen sclerosis, which involves sclerotic tissue, meaning there's stiffness in the tissue. So, proper blood flow is very important. Beetroot juice may prevent and treat cardiovascular disease. Oxygen delivery to our muscles is also important and impacted. But here's the but. There always has to be one, right? Drinking beetroot juice may easily increase nitrate intake, as I just said, but above the acceptable daily intake. When this occurs, endogenous formation of N-nitroso compounds has been observed. N-nitroso compounds are a class of compounds that's known to be carcinogenic, and that may induce several adverse effects that we don't want. Potential cancer? That's what I'm guessing. I guess it's the cognitive dissonance that I get when I think of nitric oxide as already being high in people with fibromyalgia. Well, studies are mixed, with some researchers stating nitric oxide is low and others saying it's high. And now we want to add more nitric oxide to a regimen. Does that equate? It's confusing to me. Maybe you can explain it. But in another 2021 study, researchers explained there is also betanin in beetroot juice, which eliminates oxidative and nitrative stress and prevents DNA damage and reduces LDL. That all sounds good. It's also been found to exert anti-tumor activity by inhibiting cell proliferation, angiogenesis, inducing cell apoptosis, and autophagy. In some chronic diseases, nitrate is the main component for lowering blood lipids. I need that. Glucose, that too, and blood pressure. Treating hypertension, I have hypotension, and hyperglycemia has been clearly shown. Also, beets and beet juice are due to the powerful effects as vasodilators that help people with interstitial cystitis. Beetroot juice is also beneficial for dental health and the balance of bacteria in our mouth, for blood flow that helps us warm up after being in the cold, for asthma symptoms, and for our cognition. So, with all of that said, if you have any of these conditions, you could try drinking beetroot juice. I would start slow, not drink a lot. I would talk to your doctor first, too, and perhaps a dietitian or herbalist who can assist if your doctor is on board with you adding beetroot juice. For a recipe, see the link in the description section below. What's your experience? Comment below. So, what do you think about all of this? Does this make sense to you? Obviously, we're always in search of something that's going to help us feel better. Have you tried beetroot juice? Do you love beets? Mm. I look forward to your comment in the comment section. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you.